Hey guys, this is Shaw from worshipguitarskills.com and welcome back to another series. Now this whole series is going to be devoted to how to play more melodically on the guitar. Now I know a lot of guitar players, they kind of struggle with that a little bit in order to play melodic and emotive solos. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, and I've got a really cool kind of paint by numbers approach, and I'm kind of using the term melodic math for that. So let me give an example of what you can do when you start playing more melodically, and then afterwards we'll go ahead and break down this whole concept. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed some of that. That's really just to kind of give you a taste for what's coming up in this series, which is all about how to play more melodically and more emotively on the guitar when it comes to playing lead guitar, doing fills and all that kind of stuff. So this whole thing kind of came about when we did a Facebook Live on our Facebook page the other day. By the way, if you're not following us on there, make sure you check the link in the description box and then you can go and check that out. We do live videos right there. And one of our members, Simon, asked us the following. He says, I'm going to read his comment here. I'm not really the ear type. I listen and play, but it's hard for me to connect the ideas. Do you have a cheat sheet with all the chord tones for all the math persons out there, or any tips on how to get better at connecting different ideas or training my ear? Now, I love that question because it really just goes into the essence of what we're going to be teaching here, which is a mathematical approach to playing melodically. That might sound weird, but this term melodic math is kind of a term I'm borrowing from songwriting when it comes to actually write hit songs. Because of course, think about it, right? When people do those kind of things, write those kind of songs, what they want is they want to write songs that they know are going to work. So there's a formula behind pop songs. We're not discussing here whether that formula is good or bad or indifferent, whatever the case is. What I want to talk about is how you can take a paint by numbers approach for all of you non-musical people out there. When I say non-musical, what I mean is you weren't born with this natural ear where it's just, I shouldn't say non-musical, I should say people that the melodic side or the musical side doesn't come naturally. I was certainly one of those people. I still am today. I don't have this phenomenal ear that can just hear all this crazy stuff and then immediately play it. I have to come from it from a different angle. And that's how I taught myself to play more melodically, which is to use this melodic math approach. And I'm going to show you exactly how that works. But of course, before we can get into the intricacies of that method, we need to just lay some foundations around the major scale and melody as a whole. So that's what we're going to dive into this lesson. I've got a bunch of cool stuff to show you, and I'm going to make some, hopefully you'll be able to make some main distinctions that you can go ahead and then use in your own playing. Make sure you watch until the end of the video. Got a cool gift for you guys, and hopefully this will make an impact in your playing. So let's get going. All right, so to get going, of course, we need to kind of choose a scale of choice that we're going to use to play all these lead lines. Now, the one problem so many guitar players have is they play using scale shapes and all those kind of stuff as opposed to using their ear. But of course, a scale is useful in the fact that it basically tells us what notes we can use. Now, if we look at the major scale, the C major scale, I can actually play that on one string, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is the C major scale. Now within that scale, there are three notes that make up a C chord. That would be C, E, and G. Or if you look at this, C, E, G. that makes up a C major chord. Now those are my chord tones, and for this particular video we're going to call those stable tones. So whenever I'm playing over a C chord and I play any one of those three notes rather, C, E or G, it's going to sound very stable. I've got like a loop, like a drone programmed here, or that I just recorded before we started. So check this out when I just play C, E and G. Right, so those are my stable tones. So what about the other tones? The D, the F, the A and the B. Well, those are what we call active tones, and they are not as stable as the tones that I've just shown you. Active tones want to resolve somewhere. So the B wants to resolve upwards to the C. The A wants to resolve downwards to the G. The F will resolve downwards to the E. And then the D will go up to the E or down to the C. So again, B, the active tone resolves upwards to C. The A resolves downwards to G. The F downwards to E. The D upwards to E. Or downwards to C. So now, let me play active tones without resolving them over this drone here. Check it out. Here's the D. Okay, doesn't quite sound like home. Check out the F. Also doesn't sound like home. Check out the A. And here's the B. But what if I resolve them like I've just shown you? Alright, big difference, right? When my active tones resolve to stable tones. That is the essence of the idea that we're going to look at over here. So what I want you to do is play a major scale on one string, or you can do a shape, doesn't matter, but then do this resolution like I've just shown you. The B to C, the A to G, the F to E, the D to E, or the D to C. So that's in essence a little movement. Now here's the secret to music and to even stories, right? It's tension and resolution. Without any tension and without any resolution, it's always just going to be a flat line, right? And it's not going to be very exciting. So that's why we actually play chord progressions that consists of different chords, right? And that in and of itself gives us a little bit of tension, right? So if I play C to G, to A minor, to F. I shouldn't have used the word tension there necessarily, but it gives us movement. And part of movement at the core is tension and resolution. So now you know how to create tension, because if I play that B over a C chord, it's quite tense, right? But if I resolve it, it's resolving. Alright, very, very basic. Now, what I want you to do is this progression I've just shown you is C, G, A minor, F. Look on the screen right now, you'll see how we've written out the C major scale, and you can see where the different degrees resolve to. So degree 7 resolves upwards to 1, degree 6 downward to 5, degree 4 downwards to 3, and then the second degree can go up to 3 or down to 1. So now I can do the same thing. I can take the same resolution that we've just used from the 7 to the 1, the 6 to the 5, the 4 to the 3, the 2 to the 3, or the 2 to the 1. I can do that over G as well. It's going to sound something like this. Let's do 7 to 1 to start with. 6 to 5. 4 to 3, 2 to 3, or 2 to 1. Alright, as you can see, the same tension and resolution kind of applies. Let's do the same thing in the key of A minor. So now I'm going to write out the C major scale, and I'm going to start from A to A. So that's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Again, 7 to 1, 6 to 5, 4 to 3, 2 to 3, or 2 to 1. It's going to sound the same. Check it out. 7 to 1, 6 to 5, 3, 2 can go to 3, or to 1. Okay, when I say 6, technically in the key of A minor it's a flat 6. I'm just talking about the order in which we apply these resolutions, just for you to kind of make sense of that. Let's do one more for the F chord. All right, so for F, we're gonna have 7 to 1, 6 to 5, 4 to 3, and then 2 can go to 3, or to 1. Let's hear it with a drone. Now, it might sound a little weird out of context like this, but what I'm doing is I'm just showing you the approach in the way that you can use it for 4 different chords. And for those of you guys who know the modes, would have seen that there was C Ionian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and F Lydian. So all you need to know now is that 7 goes up to 1, 6 down to 5, 4 down to 3, and then 2 can go up to 3 or down to 1. All right, so that takes care of the theoretical explanation of how to use stable tones and active tones. What we want to do now is we want to take the theory and we want to apply it, because theory without application is just a waste of time, and we don't like to waste time. We want to start to play more melodically and more emotively, but we want to use kind of a paint by numbers approach. So what I'm going to do for you in the next video, I'm going to show you how we start putting together some of these melodic math recipes, if you will, and I can show you how you can go ahead and use that in your playing to come up with some examples. And by the way, in the description box below, there's going to be a link that you'll be able to get access to a PDF that shows you the breakdown of the stable tones and active tones for the different chords, as well as the backing track that I'll be jamming over in this series. So let's end this video off. I'm going to play a couple of examples just to kind of show you what's possible when you start using this melodic math approach. And in the following video, we'll start by dissecting the various recipes. Here we go. I really hope you enjoyed this video where we looked at ways in which you can play more melodically on the guitar by making use of your mental understanding, your oral ability by hearing music and melodic ideas, and then the physical ability of actually mapping out the notes on the guitar. Now, this is all just the start of a whole wonderful journey, and if you'd like to dig deeper and learn more about
how you can compose these different kinds of parts, as well as get access to the backing track that I used in this example. Well, we've got a 7-day worship guitar skills challenge, which you can sign up for free. The link is in the description box. When you sign up for the 7-day challenge, you will learn 15 different kinds of guitar parts, making use of these chord tones in a musical and melodic fashion. And that's going to help you really map out the notes on the guitar so you can play with more passion, power, and precision, all those kind of good things that you hear all of your favorite guitarists do. So that's all covered in the 7-day guitar challenge. You'll get tablature, you'll get a backing track, and you will also get access to my personal email address. So if you've got any questions, you can just fire off an email, and then I will go ahead and address that in future videos. All right, guys, been awesome hanging with you today. Make sure you sign up for the 7-day guitar challenge so we can go ahead and dig deeper into this wonderful journey of becoming a better guitarist.